Welcome, beautiful Gemini. Welcome, air sign, to today's reading at Sweet Tree of Life Tarot. It's the reading for August 2022. Let's go ahead and start with the reading today. As most of you know, it's read like the top of the tree, and then you go down towards the bottom of the tree, through the branches, and of course the trunk of the tree and the roots of the tree, as it is for the Tree of Life reading. I do have a small video you can look at that kind of explains it a little further in my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. Let's go ahead and begin. Right here we have what the issue is the Page of Swords. Now the Page of Swords, because it is turned in the reverse, it is considered to be the issue in this case for you. It can represent someone is angry or argumentative. You know, there's definitely a misunderstandings or aggressive exchanges may be involved. And it seems to be involving either your reaction to things and reactions with another air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. So it looks like your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend might be also an air sign, and you're kind of having these issues where you're being angry, argumentative. You know, it's just doesn't seem to be a good relationship at this time for you. What's driving you forward is the Tower card. The Tower card's a major arcana card. It's just describing a major change. So you are going through this major change, but it's a necessary change that has to happen in order to pave way to new opportunities. Your perception to this change is going to determine how you're going to adapt to those new circumstances. So even though things seem to be falling apart, they're really what they are is falling into place to create a better path for you, a better opportunity for you as well, if it's regarding any kind of business. But right now it looks like it does seem to be a little bit of a mix of a general and love reading. Let's go ahead and keep reading to see what comes up. Right here, and what has been created is a Two of Swords. Kind of reached an impasse with this individual. You kind of can't get past this thing that's been going on between you and your partner. You're kind of refusing to see the problem at hand. So you're kind of avoiding seeing the situation. That's why she has a Two of Swords here. And then, of course, a blindfold indicating she doesn't want to see the situation or the problem at hand because it's hard to make a decision. So it's probably some decision that you've been struggling with, whether to be with this person or not. There is, of course, you know, the clouds of conflict here, but there is already hope coming through. So it looks like they're shedding some light in the decision that you are going to make. So I do wish you lots of luck with that decision. It looks like it's a very difficult decision for you. In the number 4 position, we have the Temperance card. Now, the Temperance card here is the energy to build. What's giving you the energy to build? It signifies maintaining that balance, basically, practicing moderation. And of course, as you can see here, she's combining forces, the water with the fire, to create a rainbow. So it's like to create a new energy, basically, better energy without dousing the fire. And then, of course, right here we have her foot in the water in the subconscious and the other one in the material world. So there's that balance. And there's definitely butterflies here indicating that you're going through some metamorphosis. There's some change, kind of growing pains as well. Does definitely seem a metamorphosis of some sort. And again, it says that you're treating it with as much balance as you can, which is a good sign. Now, what do you need to dissolve? Right here, we have the Eight of Swords. Again, it seems to be that you're having the situation with another air sign. Seems like your partner is either Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It could be a Gemini like yourself or one of the other 2 air signs. It is definitely a card of restriction, feeling helpless or vulnerable. Definitely she's imprisoning herself here because she has a blindfold and prevents her from seeing out in the situation and kind of seeing what's going on. And she can easily wiggle herself out of here, take her blindfold off, go through the swords here and walk away. And of course, there's a light of hope already coming through. So it's just a matter of choice at this point. And it seems to be a resonating thing. You're having a choice between whether you stay or you go, whether you go one path or another path. And you're kind of refusing to see the situation for what it is, to make that determination, because it's a tough situation for you because you feel like everything's kind of crumbling around you when you do have to make this decision one way or another. Right here, in the middle of the card, we have this. It's like the synergy of everything. is a Six of Cups. Six of Cups, it tells me that it's a card of nostalgia. It could also represent for some of you remembering something happy from the past, or reconnecting even with old friends, or a desire to feel childlike again for some of you, because it was a sense of, a nicer kind of safe environment, non-problematic maybe for some of you. And so you're kind of remembering that, kind of feeling that nostalgic feeling and reconnecting. Some of you can also be reconnecting with those friends that you've been wanting to reconnect with, which is important to give you that moral support that you might be needing at this time. But even though she knows, she's kind of looking at her past like this, she knows she has to take her cup and keep going forward. She needs to go forward into the unknown in order to continue her growth and her journey. The light here of this moon, of course, it doesn't light all her path, so you do have to count a lot on your intuition, on your faith or your spirituality, and of course, it does kind of let you know to connect with friends. You do need those at this time. Right here, what's in your victory card position? Well, that's a number 7 position here, which is the victory card, considering the Emperor in that position. The Emperor is a major arcana card. It's a wonderful card to have there because it's a self-assured, kind of sure-footed. He knows where he stands. He's kind of structured, but he's also like the ultimate guardian, right? And he has a lot of intelligence and vision, as you can tell here from the ram's horns and the orbs. And you just have to kind of hold on to that emperor energy yourself, to have that self-assuredness, to when you decide to do it, because if you can keep going back and forth without that steady footing that this one has here, it can create issues for you where you go in and out of that pain, right, from that breakup possibly, or that situation that you're trying to fix, whichever way you're going to decide. But it does show here that you need that balance. You need that transformation that you're going to have to go through. You have to work things out to keep in balance. But you do need to be kind of sure-footed, kind of knowing where you're stepping in before making your next step. Right here, it reveals the position that reveals what you want. It says 10 of Cups. Beautiful goal to have. It is a card of joy, peace, fulfillment, happiness, and family. That perfect blend of love and friendship. It's definitely the happily ever after card, as you can see with the couple and the baby there. It's that sense of pure and unlimited abundance and blessings. It's a beautiful card. It's obviously one of my favorite cards as well. You can't see everything that's going on because, as you can see, the moon's kind of a waning moon. The waning moon does not give you the full perspective on where your road is heading. So you do have to count again on your intuition, on your spirituality and your faith. And of course, family and friends too. You do have that love of family and friends to go to, but you do want, this is your ultimate goal. You wanted this, and maybe you didn't have it with this air sign here. Let's see here. In the next position in the trunk of the tree, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands here lets me know that you see yourself or others see you as a Queen of Wands, which is one of my favorite cards. She's very magnetic, energetic, confident, and warm. But yet she's very caring and sincere too. She draws people in with her cheerfulness and optimism. And she has that strength like her lion here, where you have that strength, but you're still strong and capable, but yet still compassionate and kind at the same time. But it basically tells us that you can set your mind to something and you will accomplish it, no matter what it is. So you do have the strength to do that, to get over the situation and after you make your decision or your choice. And then, of course, as painful as it may be. And then, of course, you have the Emperor energy here. So you have very strong energies, very great cards to have in this area here, so that it kind of keeps you going forward and keep that warrior spirit going. Now, right here in the root of the tree, we have the Nine of Cups. It's kind of like a wish card as well. As you can see, she's blowing the dandelion, wish, with the little wish petals going up to the moon. Again, even though it is the moon, it doesn't light the path. So again, intuition, spirituality. I just keep getting that theme. You have to count on your intuition, your gut feeling, because, usually that gut feeling is right. Once we try to find out why and why we shouldn't go a certain path, then, that gut feeling that was warning you before, it's null. I mean, it's not going to work if you keep trying to figure out why, if you don't follow that gut feeling that you have. That Nine of Cups is also achieving goals for some of you and having your dreams come true. It does warn you, though, that you may be wishing for something right now that may be granted, but then after you get it granted, you don't desire it anymore, or you don't need it anymore in your life like you thought you were going to need it. So, you just want to kind of keep that in mind. It also cautions you to put out into the what you put out into the universe comes back. So make sure you're putting out those positive vibes and that positivity, because whatever you're putting out there does come back to you as well. So you want to make sure you keep it positive. Right here we have the pillar of severity or discipline, and then right here can also be considered the pillar of mercy, and of course we have the pillar of harmony here. As we go into the reverse, we see what perspective, kind of a recap and a perspective on how to maybe turn this page of swords upside up or help it turn a little further in that direction. We have the Nine of Cups here, where you kind of, it's a wish card. You want to achieve, you're achieving your goals, you're having your dreams come true, but be careful what you wish for, kind of thing, and put that positive energy out there. You have the strength to be successful. You have the Emperor here saying you have the victory card, but you have to be sure-footed, and it's basically you have to be decisive in what you're going to do. And moving forward, moving backward, or whatever it is, not to be wishy-washy, because you have to have that balance. And doing that to create the balance, you have to kind of create that balance basically by having the sure-footedness, making that decision right now with both feet, one foot in the subconscious and one foot in the material world, making whatever situation here is that balance that creates a bigger energy. And of course that transformation and the metamorphosis that you might be going through, that might be, it seems like a painful situation to kind of look at. However, it says you have the strength to get through it. So whatever you decide to do, you will be able to do that. It looks like you're moving forward from the situation, because right here with the Six of Cups is giving that energy of reconnecting with old friends, having that nostalgia of wanting to stay back, but that you have to continue forward into your unknown. And then of course because you want this situation here where you get the Ten of Cups, and it doesn't seem like you're getting it this way, so you're kind of leaving something behind apparently here in order to make that happen, if that's what you're deciding to do. And right here, of course, you have to dissolve this area where you're not seeing the situation for what it is, and see it for what it is, so that you can then release yourself from this imprisonment that's been self-imposed, making that decision that's very tough to make. And of course, it seems difficult because everything seems to be falling apart. I'm going to go ahead and just pull one more card just to see if there's a little more clarity. And if it goes in the 11th position here. And of course, we have the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords here, it tells me that there has obviously been a time of heartbreak for you, of that separation, that disappointment, that painful separation that you've had. Definitely grieving, extreme grieving here. It deals with the consequences of that difficult choice that you're making, because everything has consequences. Whether we do something or whether we don't, everything will have a consequence. There's no trickery here. It's basically the message. What you do or what you don't do will have a consequence. But it also tells you that it's going to be necessary for you to mourn this loss, because light of hope's coming already. Started a healing process shortly after, but you do have to mourn. If you don't mourn this grief, this loss that you had, whether it be this relationship with this person here or a business relationship, if you were trying to kind of get that going, but it seems to me it's like a love relationship. If you don't have what you want, and then you're sure that it's something that you're not going to regret, that you wanted, or maybe what you wanted you don't want anymore with that wish card, remember? So it's kind of something you really want to think about before making your next step, so that you can, be sure and sure-footed when you do step in and regain that balance that you've been looking for. But right here, you do have to go through that mourning process of that loss, whatever the loss was for you, whether it be a relationship with your lover, or some kind of business arrangement that didn't go through. Just kind of give yourself time to grieve that loss. And then maybe that way you'll be hopefully able to turn this page of swords around and have her be what she usually is, very forthright, but at the same time she likes to use her intelligence to solve the problems and diffuse any conflict, rather than having the conflict that was existing here when it's in the reversal. Well, I hope this reading helps you out in whatever situation that you're in right now. I hope it gives you a more positive perspective of what to do. Please do subscribe if you want me to keep making these videos for next month. Please feel free to share, like, and comment, and share it with anyone that might need to hear this message, and hopefully give them a more positive perspective or a different perspective of their situation, or how to solve it as well. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope I see you next month. I send you lots of peace, love, and light. Thank you.